Conversations with God, Trilogy by Neil Donald Walsh. Last chapter 21, book 3. I don't want you to go. I'm not going anywhere. I'm always with you. Always. Please, before we stop, just a few more questions. Some final closing inquiries. You do understand, don't you, that you may go within at any time. Return to the seat of eternal wisdom and find your answers there. Yes, I understand that, and I'm grateful to the bottom of my heart that it is this way that life has been created, this way that I have that resource always. But this has been working for me. This dialogue has been a great gift. Can't I just ask a few last questions? Of course. Is our world really in danger? Is our species flirting with self-destruction, with actual extinction? Yes, and unless you consider the very real possibility of that, you cannot avoid it. For what you resist persists. Only what you hold can disappear. Remember also what I told you about time and events. All the events you could possibly imagine, indeed have imagined, are taking place right now in the eternal moment. This is the whole instant. This is the moment that precedes your awareness. It is what is happening before the light gets to you. This is the present moment sent to you, created by you, before you. Even know it, you call this the present, and it is a present, is the greatest gift given to you by God. You have the ability to choose which of all the experiences you have ever imagined you choose to experience now. You have said it, and I'm now beginning, even in my limited perception, to understand it. None of this is really real, is it? No. You are living in illusion. This is a big magic show, and you are pretending that you don't know the tricks, even though you are the magician. It's important to remember this, otherwise you will make everything very real. But what I see, feel, smell, touch does seem very real. If that isn't reality, what is? Keep in mind that what you are looking at, you are not really seeing. Your brain is not the source of your intelligence. It's simply a data processor. It takes in data through receptors called your senses. It interprets this energy information according to its previous data on the subject. It tells you what it perceives, not what it really is. Based on these perceptions, you think you know the truth about something, when actually you do not know the half of it. In reality, you are creating the truth that you know. Including this entire dialogue to you, most assuredly. I'm afraid that will only give fuel to those who are saying, he's not talking to God, he's making it all up. Tell them gently that they might try thinking outside the box. They are thinking either or. They might be try thinking both and. You cannot comprehend God if you are thinking inside your current values, concepts, and understandings. If you wish to comprehend God, you must be willing to accept that you currently have limited data, rather than asserting that you know all there is to know on this subject. I draw your attention to the words of one Ehad, who declared that true clarity can come only when someone is willing to notice. There is something I do not know, the knowing of which could change everything. It's just possible that you are both talking to God and are making it all up. Indeed, He is the grandest truth. You are making everything up. Life is the process by which everything is being created. God is the energy, the pure raw energy which you call life. By this wordness here we come to a new truth. God is a process. I thought you say God was a collective, that God is the all. I did, and God is. God is also the process by which all is created and experiences itself. I have revealed this to you before. Yes, you gave me that wisdom when I was writing a booklet called Recreation Yourself. Indeed, and now I say it here for a much larger audience to receive. God is a process. God is not a person, place, or thing. God is exactly what you have always thought but not understood. Exactly, is a process. Atoms. See? Indeed, God is a process. God is not a person, place, or thing. God is exactly what you have always thought but not understood. Again, you have always thought that God is the supreme being. And you have been right about that. I'm exactly that, a being. Notice that being is not a thing, it's a process. I'm the supreme being there is, the supreme being. I'm not the result of a process. I'm the process itself. I'm the creator and I am the process by which I'm created. Everything you see in the heavens and the earth is me being created. The process of creation is never over, it's never complete. I'm never done. This is other way of saying everything is forever changing. Nothing stands still. Nothing. Nothing is without motion. Everything is energy and motion. In your earthly shorthand, you have called this emotion. You are God's highest emotion. When you look at a thing, you are not looking at a static something that is standing there in time and space. No, you are witnessing an event, because everything is moving, changing, evolving, everything. It was Buckminster Fuller who said, I seem to be a verb. He was right. God is an event. You have called that event life. Life is a process. That process is observable, knowable, predictable. The more you observe, the more you know, and the more you can predict. That's a tough one for me. I always thought that God is the unchangeable, the one constant, the unmovable mover. It was within this inscrutable absolute truth about God that I found my security. But that is the truth. The one unchanging truth is that God always changing. That is the truth. And you can't do anything to change it. The one thing that never changes is that everything is always changing. Life is change. God is life. Therefore, God is change. But I want to believe that the one thing that never changes is God's love for us. My love for you is always changing because you are always changing. And I love you just the way you are. For me to love you just the way you are, my idea of what is lovable must change until your idea of who you are changes. Wow, that one's very conditional. You mean you find me lovable even if I decide that who I am is a murderer? We've been through this all before. I know, but I just can't get it. Nobody does anything inappropriate, given their model of the world. I love you always. Always. There is no way you can be that could cause me not to love you. But you will punish us, right? You will lovingly punish us. You will send us to everlasting torment with your love in your heart, and sadness that you had to do it. No, I have no sadness ever, because there is nothing I have to do. Who would make me have to do it? I will never punish you, although you may choose to punish yourself and this life or another. Until you don't anymore, I will not punish you, because I have not been hurt or damaged. Nor can you hurt or damage any part of me, which all of you are. One of you may choose to feel hurt or damaged, yet when you return to the internal realm, you will see that you have not been damaged in any way. At this moment will you forgive Jews you imagine to have damaged you, for you have understood the large plan. What's the larger plan? Do you remember the parable of the little soul and the sun that I gave you in book 1? Yes. There's a second half of that parable. Here it is. You may choose to be any part of God you wish to be. I say to the little soul, you are absolute divinity. Experience itself. What aspect of divinity do you now wish to experience as you? You mean I have a choice? Asked the little soul. And I answered, yes, you may choose to experience any aspect of divinity in, as, and through you. Okay, said the little soul, then I choose forgiveness. I want to experience myself as that aspect of God called complete forgiveness. Well, this creates a little challenge, as you can imagine. There was no one to forgive. All I have created is perfection in love. No one to forgive? Asked the little soul, somewhat incredulously. No one, I repeated. Look around you. Do you see any souls less perfect, less wonderful than you? At this, the little soul twirled around and was surprised to see himself surrounded by all the souls in heaven. They had come from far and wide throughout the kingdom, because they heard that the little soul was having extraordinary conversation with God. I see no one less perfect than I, the little soul explained. Who then shall I have to forgive? Just then another soul stepped forward from the crowd. You may forgive me, said this friendly soul. For what? The little soul asked. I will come into your next physical lifetime and do something for you to forgive, replied the friendly soul. But what? What could you, a being of such perfect light, do to make me want to forgive you? The little soul wanted to know. Oh, smiled the friendly soul. I'm sure you can think of something. But why would you want to do this? The little soul could not figure out why a being of such perfection would want to slow down its vibration so much that it could actually do something bad. Simple, the friendly soul explained. I would do it because I love you. You want to experience yourself as forgiven, don't you? Besides, you have done the same for me. I have? Asked the little soul. Of course, don't you remember? We have been all of it, you and I. We have been the up and the down of it, and the left and the right of it. We have been the here and the there of it, and the now and the then of it. We have been the big and the small of it, the male and the female of it, the good and the bad of it. We have all been the all of it. And we have done it by agreement, so that each of us might experience ourselves as the grandest power of God. For we have understood that, in the absence of that which you are not, that which you are is not. In the absence of which you are not, that which you are is not. In the absence of cold, you cannot be warm. In the absence of sad, you cannot be happy. Without a thing called evil, the experience you call good cannot exist. If you choose to be a thing, something or someone opposite to that has to show up somewhere in your universe to make that possible. The friendly soul then explained that those people are God's special angels, and these conditions God's gifts. I ask only one thing in return, the friendly soul declared. Anything, anything, the little soul cried. He was excited now to know that he could experience every divine aspect of God. He understood now the plan. In the moment that I strike you and smite you, said the friendly soul, in the moment that I do the worst to you that you could ever imagine, in that same moment, remember who I really am. Oh, I won't forget, promised the little soul. I will see you in the perfection with which I hold you now, and I will remember who you are always. This is an extraordinary story, incredible parable, and the promise of the little soul is the promise I make to you. That is what is unchanging. Yet have you, my little soul, kept this promise to others? No, I'm sad to say I have not. Do not be sad, be happy to notice what is true, and be joyous in your decision to live a new truth. For God is a work in progress, and so are you. And now remember this always. If you saw you as God sees you, you would smile a lot. So go now and see each other as who you really are. Observe, observe, observe. I have told you the major difference between you and high-level of the beings is that the high-level of the beings observe more. If you wish to increase the speed with which you are evolving, seek to observe more. That in itself is a wonderful observation, and I would have you now observe that you too are an event. You are a human being. You are a process, and you are in a given moment the product of your process. You are the creator and the created. I'm saying these things to you over and over again, and these last few moments you have together. I'm repeating them so that you will hear them, understand them. Now this process that you and I are is internal. It always was, is now, and always will be occurring. It needs no help from you in order to occur. It happens automatically. And when left alone, it happens perfectly. There is another saying that has been placed into your culture by Warner Ehard. Life resolves itself in the process of life itself. That's true. This is understood by some spiritual movements until let it go and let it God. That is a good understanding. If you will just let it go, you will have gotten yourself out of the way. The way is the process, which is called life itself. This is why all masters have said, I am the life and the way. They have understood what I have said here perfectly. They are the life and they are the life and they are the way, the event and process. and progress, the process. All wisdom asks you to do is trust the process. That is, trust God, or if you wish, trust yourself. For you are the God. Remember, we are all one. How can I trust the process when the process life keeps bringing me things I don't like? Like the things life keeps bringing you. Know and understand that you are bringing it to yourself. See the perfection. See it in everything, not just in things that you call perfect. I have carefully explained to you in this trilogy why things happen the way they happen and how. You do not need to read that material again here, although it might do you benefit to review it often until you understand it truly. Please, just on this one point, a summarizing side, please. How can I see the perfection of something that I experience is not perfect at all? Exactly, because it's not necessarily we are in a human perception. No one can create your experience of anything. Other beings can and do co-creation the exterior circumstances and events of the life you live in common. But the one thing that no one else can do is cause you to have an experience of anything. You do not choose to experience. I don't think so. And this you are a supreme being, and no one can tell you how to be. Yes, but they still do. They cannot, but they still do. The world can present you with circumstances, but only you decide what do circumstances mean. This means that you still have to accept the bad, the experiences and configuration, but it's up to you how to you choose to interpret and to perceive it, how you choose to see it. Remember the truth I gave you long ago. Nothing matters. Yes, I'm not sure I fully understood it then. That came to me in an out of a bad experience in 1980. I recall it vividly. And what do you remember of it? That I was confused at first. How could nothing matter? Where would the world be? Where would I be if nothing mattered at all? What answer did you find to that very good question? I got that nothing mattered intrinsically in and of itself, but that I was adding meaning to events and so causing them to matter. I got this at a very high metaphysical level as well, giving me a huge insight about the process of creation itself. And the insight? I got that all is energy, and that energy turns into matter. That is physical stuff and occurrences, according to how I thought about them. I understood then that nothing matters means that nothing turns into matter except as we choose for it to. Then I forgot that insight for over 10 years until you brought it to me again earlier in this dialogue. Everything I have brought you in this dialogue you have known before. I have given it to you before, all of it, through others whom I have sent to you, or to whose teachings I have brought you. There is nothing new here, and you have nothing to learn, you have only to remember. Your understanding of the wisdom nothing matters is rich and deep, and serves you well. I'm sorry, I cannot let this dialogue end without pointing out a glaring contradiction, which is, you have taught me over and over again that what we call evil exists, so that you may have context within which to experience good. You have said that what I am cannot be experienced if there is no such thing as what I am not. In other words, no warm without cold, no up without down, so on. But this only applies to this kind of word, to this yin and yang dual polar world, the bipolar world, but it doesn't intrinsically maybe exist in other words in the multiverse. Maybe just in this universe. That's right. You have even used this to explain to me how I could see every problem as a blessing. I cannot see every problem as a blessing, every perpetrator as an angel. It's hard to swallow. Correct again. Then how come every description of the life of a high-level beings contains visually no evil? All we describe this paradise, this lie. They have been there, they have done evil as well. Oh good, very good, you are really thinking about all this. Actually, Nancy pointed this out. She once listened to me read some of the material out loud to her, and she said, I think you need to ask about this before the dialogue is over. How do you HEBs experience themselves who they really are? If they have eliminated all the negative stuff from their lives, it's because they apply this on to us and not to them. They are past all this. That's why they call themselves evolved. And us regressed, because we are them and the past. I thought it was a good question. In fact, it stopped me cold. And I know you just said we didn't need any more questions, but I think you need to address this one. Okay, one for Nancy then. As it happens, it's one of the best questions in the book. Yeah. Well, it is. I'm surprised that you didn't catch this when we were talking about HEBS. I'm surprised you didn't think of it. I did. You did? We are all one, aren't we? Well, the part of me which Nancy thought of it. Ah, excellent, and of course true. So, your answer? I'll return to my original statement. In the opposite of that which you are not, that which you are is not. That is, in the absence of cold, you cannot know the experience called warmth. In the absence of up, the idea of down is empty, meaningless concept. This is a truth of the universe. Indeed, it explains why the universe is the way it is. It is cold and it's warm, it's up and down, and yes, it's good and it's evil. Just know this. You are making it all up. You are deciding what is cold and what is warm, what is up and what is down. Get out in space and watch your definition disappear. You are deciding what is good. Actually, I don't know. I think that I forgot what I wanted to say. And what is evil, and the ideas about all these things have changed through the years indeed, even through the seasons. On a summer day you would call 42 Fahrenheit cold. In the middle of the winter, however, you would say, boy, what a warm day. The universe merely provides you with a field of experience, what might be called a range of objective phenomena. You decide what to label them. The universe is a whole system of such physical phenomena, and the universe is enormous, vast, unfathomably huge, endless in fact. Now here's a great secret. It's not necessary for an opposite condition to exist right next to you in order to provide a contextual field within which the reality that you choose may be experienced. The distance between contrasts is irrelevant. The entire universe provides the contextual field within which all contrast elements exist, and all experiences are thus made possible. That is the purpose of the universe. That is its function. Well, I remember now what I wanted to say. They say that they have sent only angels, that who do us evil are angels, and that it was all arranged at the other side, that you agreed to it. So in this context, why is then we made to pay for our mistakes if already have been prescribed, everything have been prearranged in the other side by these beings? How is that we still have to pay and be accountable for our deeds? How to understand? So in this context, everything's already programmed, prearranged. We don't have to answer and be accountable for our deeds, which is negative, isn't it? Because it's already a game, is a arrangement made to live in this kind of farm, which is the planets like this one, colonized planet or invaded planet. Now is a great secret. It's not necessary for an opposite condition to exist right next to you, not provide. Okay, but if I never experienced the code in person, but merely see that it's code somewhere else, very far away from me, how do I know what code is? You have experienced the code. You have experienced all of it. If not in this lifetime, then in the last, or the one before that, or one of the many others. You have experienced the code, and big and small, and up and down, and here and there, and every contrasting element that there is. And these are burned into your memory. You do not have to experience them again if you don't want to. You need merely remember them, know that they exist in order to evolve the universal law of relativity. All of you have experienced everything that goes for all beings in the universe, not only humans. You have all not only experienced everything, you are all of it. You are that which you are experiencing. Indeed, you are causing the experience. I'm not sure I fully understand that. I'm about to explain it to you in mechanical terms. What I want you now to understand is that what you are doing now is simply remembering everything you are and choosing the portion of that which you prefer to experience in this moment, in this lifetime, on this planet, in this physical form. My God, you make it sound so simple. It's simple. You have separated yourself from the body of God, from the all, from the collective, and you are becoming a member of that body once again. This is the process called remembering. As you remember, you give yourself once again all the experiences of who you are. This is a cycle. You do this over and over again and call this evolution. You say that you evolve. Actually, you revolve just as the earth revolves around the sun, just as the galaxy revolves around its center. Everything revolves. Revolution is the basic movement of all of life. Life energy revolves. That's what it does. You are in a true revolutionary movement. How do you do that? How do you keep finding words that make everything so clear? It's you who make it clear. You have done this by clearing up your receiver. You have turned out the static. You have entered the new willingness to know. This new willingness will change everything for you and for your species. For in your new willingness, you have become a true revolutionary, and your planet's greatest spiritual revolution has just begun. It had better hurry. We need a new spirituality now. We are creating incredible misery all around us. That's because even though all beings have already lived through all contrasting experiences, some do not know it. They have forgotten and have not yet moved into full remembering. With highly evolved beings, this is not so. It's not necessary to have negativity right in front of them in their own world for them to know how positive their civilization is. They are positive aware of who they are without having to create negativity to prove it. HEBS merely notice who they are not, but observe it elsewhere in the contextual field. Your own planet, in fact, is one to which highly evolved beings look if they seek a contrasting field. As they do so, they are reminded of how it was when they experienced what you are now experiencing, and they thus form an ongoing frame of reference through which they may know and understand what they are now experiencing. Do you now understand why HEB do not require evil or negativity in their own society? Now, not before, but now. Yes, but then why do you require it in ours? Because it was programmed this way by these same beings. You do not. That's what I have been telling you throughout this whole dialogue. You do have to live within a contextual field within which that which you are not exists in order for you to experience that which you are. This is the universal law and you cannot avoid it. That you are living such a field right now. You do not have to create one. The contextual field in which you are live is called the universe. You do not have to create a smaller contextual field in your own backyard. This means that you can change life on your planet right now and eliminate all that you are not without endangering in any way your ability to know and experience that which you are. Wow! So it just means that you can change your life on your planet right now and eliminate all that you are not without endangering in any way your ability to know and experience that which you are. Wow! This is the greatest revelation in the book. What a way to end it. So I don't have to keep calling forth the opposite in order to create and experience the next grandest version of the greatest vision I have ever had of who I am. That's right. That's what I have been telling you from the very beginning. But you didn't explain it in this way. You would not have understood it until now. You do not have to create the opposite of who you are and what you choose in order to experience it. You merely need to observe that it has already been created elsewhere. You need only remember that it exists. This is the knowledge of the fruit of the tree of good and evil, which I've already explained to you, was not a curse, not the original sin, but what Matthew Fox has called original blessing. And to remember that it exists, to remember that you have experienced it all before everything that it is in physical form. All you have to do is to look up. You mean look within? No, I mean just what I say. Look up. Look to the stars. Look to the heavens. Observe the contextual field. I have told you before, all you need to do to become highly evolved beings is to increase your observational skills. See what's so and then do what works. So by looking elsewhere in the universe, I can see how things are in other places, and I can use those contrasting elements to form an understanding of who I am right here, right now. Yes, it is called remembering. Well, not exactly, it's called observing. What do you think you are observing? Life on other planets, in other solar system, other galaxies. I suppose if we gather sufficient technology, this is what we might observe. This is what I assume the HEB have the ability to observe right now, given the advice of the technology. You said yourself that they are observing eyes right here on earth. So that is what you would be observing. But what is it actually that you would be observing? I don't understand the question. Then I'll give you the answer. You are observe your own past. What? When you look up, you see the stars as they were hundreds, thousands, millions of light years ago. What you are seeing is not actually there. You are seeing what was there. You are seeing the past, and it is a past in which you participated. Say again, you were there, experiencing those things, doing those things. I was. Have I not told you that you have lived in many lives? Yes, but what if I were to travel to one of these places so many light years away? What if I had the ability to actually go there? To be there right now, in the very moment that I am not able to see on earth for hundreds of light years? What would I see then? Two means, are you saying that I would then see myself exist in two places at once? Of course, and you would discover what I have told you all along, that time does not exist, that you are not seeing the past at all, that it is all happening now. You are also right now living lives in what in earth time would be your future. It is the distance between you many selves that allows you to experience discrete identities and moments in time. Just the past that you remember and the future that you see is the now that simply is. Wow, that is incredible. Yes, and it's true on another level as well. It is, as I have told you before, there is only one of us. So when you look up at the stars, you are seeing what you would call our past. When the things was about to be created, everything was about to be created, the creation. I can't keep it up with this. Hang on, there's one thing more I have to tell you. You are always seeing what by your terms you define as the past, even when you are looking at what is right in front of you. It is impossible to see the present. The present happens, then turns the burst of light formed by energy dispersing, and that light reaches your receptors, your eyes, and it takes time for it to do that. All the while that light is reaching you, life is going on, moving forward. The next event is happening while the light from the last event is reaching you. The energy burst reaches your eyes, your receptors, send that signals to your brain, which interprets the data and tells you what you are seeing. Chat, that's not what is now in front of you at all. It's what you think you are seeing, because it's already programmed. That is, you are thinking about what you have seen, telling yourself what it is, and deciding what you are going to call it, while what is happening now is preceding your process and awaiting it. To put this simply, I'm always one step ahead of you. My God, this is unbelievable. Now listen, the more distance you place between yourself and the physical location of an event, the farther into the past that event recedes. Place yourself a few light years back, and what you are looking at happened very, very long ago indeed. Chat, it did not happen long ago. It's merely physical distance which has created the illusion of time and allowed you to experience yourself as being both here now, all the while you are being there. Then one day you will see that what you call time and space are the same thing. Then you will see that everything is happening right here, right now. This is wild. I mean, I don't know what to make of all this. When you understand what I have told you, you will understand that nothing you see is real. You are seeing the image of what was once in event. Chat. Even that image, that energy burst, is something you are interpreting. Your personal interpretation of that image is called your imagination or imagination. And you can use your imagination to create anything, because, and here is the greatest secret of all, your imagination works both ways. Please, you not only interpret energy, you create it. Imagination is a function of your mind, which is 1/3 of your three-part being. In your mind, you imagine something and it begins to take physical form. The longer you imagine it, and the more of you who imagine it, the more physical that form becomes, until the increased energy you have given it literally bursts into light, flashing an image of itself into what you call your reality. You then see the image and once again decide what it is. Thus the cycle continues. This is what I have called the process. This is what you are. You are this process. This is what God is. God is this process. This is what I have meant when I have said you are both the creator and the created. I have now brought it all together for you. We are concluding this dialogue and I have explained to you the mechanics of the universe, the secret of all life. Very, very beautiful. I am bowled over, I am flabbergasted. Now I want to find a way to apply all this in my daily life. You are apply it in your daily life. You cannot help but apply it. This is what is happening. The only question will be whether you apply it consciously or unconsciously. Whether you are at the effect of the process or the cause of it. In everything because children understand this perfectly. Ask a child, why did you do that? And a child will tell you, just because. That's the only reason to do anything. This is astounding. This is astounding. Rush to an astounding ending to this astounding dialogue. The most significant way in which you may consciously apply your new understanding is to be the cause of your experience, not at the effect of it. And I know that you do not have to create the opposite of who you are in your personal space or personal experience in order to know and experience who you really are and who you choose to be. Armed with this knowledge, you can change your life and you can change your world. And this is the truth I have come to share to you all, with all of you. Wow, I got it. Good. Now know that there are 3 basic wisdom that run through the entire dialogue. These are: 1. We are all one. 2. There is enough. 3. There is nothing we have to do. If you decided that we are all one, you would cease treating each other the way you do. If you decide that there is enough, you would share everything with everyone. If you decide that there is nothing you have to do, you would stop trying to use doing and see to solve your problems, but rather move to and come from a state of being which would cause your experience of those problems to disappear and the conditions themselves to evaporate. This is perhaps the most important truth of all for you to understand at this stage in your evolution. It is a good place to end this dialogue. Remember this always and make it your mantra. There is nothing I have to have. There is nothing I have to do. And there is nothing I have to be except exactly what I'm being right now. This does not mean that having and doing will be eliminated from your life. It means that what you experience yourself having or doing will spring from your being, not lead you to it. When you come from happiness, you do certain things because you are happy, as opposed to do the old paradigm in which you do things that you hope would make you happy. When you come from wisdom, you do certain things because you are wise, not because you are trying to get to wisdom. That's correct. When you come from love, you do certain things because you are loved, not because you want to have love. Correct. Everything changes, everything turns around when you come from being rather than seeking to be. You cannot do your way to being. Whether you are trying to be happy, be wise, be love, or be God, you cannot get there by doing. And yet, it is true that you will be doing wonderful things once you get there. Here is a divine dichotomy or dichotomy. The way to get there is to be there. Just be where you choose to get. It's that simple. There is nothing you have to do. You want to be happy? Be happy. You want to be wise? Be wise. You want to be loved? Be loved. This is who you are in event. You are my beloved. Oh, I lost my breath. You have such a wondrous way of putting things. It's the truth that is eloquent. Truth has an eloquency that startles the heart to its own reawakening. That's what this conversation with God have done. They have touched the heart of the human race and reawakened. Now they lead you to a critical question. The question all humanity must ask itself. Can and will you create a new cultural story? Can and will you devise a new post-cultural myth upon which all other myths are based? Is the human race inherently good or inherently evil? This is the crossroads to which you have come. The future of the human race depends on which way you go. If you and your society believe you are inherently good, you will make decisions and laws that are life-affirming and constructive. If you and your society believe that you are inherently evil, you will make decisions and laws that are life-denying and destructive. Laws that are life-affirming are laws that allow you to be, do, and have what you wish. Laws that are life-denying are the laws that stop you from being, doing, and have what you wish. Those who believe in original sin and that the inherent nature of man is evil claim that God has created laws which stop you from doing as you wish and promote human laws, an endless number of them that seek to do the same. Those who believe in original blessing and that the inherent nature of man is good proclaim that God has created natural laws which allow you to do as you wish and promote human laws that seek to do the same. What is your viewpoint of the human race? What's your viewpoint of yourself? Left entirely to your own devices, do you see yourself as being able to be trusted in everything? How about others? How do you view them until they reveal themselves to you one way or the other? What is your basic assumption? Now answer this. Do your assumptions further your society in breaking down or breaking through? I see myself as trustworthy. I never did before, but now I do. I have become trustworthy because I have changed my ideas on the kind of person I am. I'm also clear now on what God wants and what God doesn't want. I'm clear about you. These conversations with God have played a huge role in that change and making that shift possible. And now I see in society what I see in myself. Not something that is breaking down, but something that's breaking through. I see a human culture that is at last awakening to its divine heritage, aware of its divine purpose, and increasingly conscious of its divine self. If that is what you see, that's what you will create. Once you were lost, but now you are found. You were blind, but now you see. And this has been amazing grace. You have sometimes been apart from me in your heart, but now we are whole again and we can be forever for what you have joined together. No one but you can put asunder. Remember this, you are always apart because you are never apart. You are always a part of God because you are never apart from God. This is the truth of your being. We are whole. So now you know the whole truth. This truth has been food for the hungry soul. Take and eat of it. The world has tasted for this joy. Take and drink of it. Do this in remembrance of me. For truth is the body and joy is the blood of God, who is love, truth, joy, love. These three are interchangeable, one is lead to the other, and it matters not in which order they appear. All lead to me, all are me. And so I end this dialogue as it began, as it life itself, it comes full circle. You have been given truth here, you have been given joy, you have been given love, you have been given here the answers to the largest mysteries of life. There is now only one question remaining, is the question with which we began. The question is not to who do I talk, but who listens. Thank you for talking to all of us. We have heard you and we will listen. Yeah, you are really listen. This material was, I think, created in the 90s, in the middle of the 90s. Now we are in 2023, nearly 2023, and humanity is still in a disorder, and still haywire, and still in confusion. Thank you for talking, for you have had you, and I will listen. I love you. And as this dialogue ends, I'm filled with truth, joy, and love. I'm filled with you. I feel my oneness with God. That place of oneness is heaven. You are there now. You are never not there because you are never not one with me. This is what I would have you know. This is what I would have you take at last from this conversation. And here is my message, the message I would seek to live with the word. My children who are in heaven, hallowed is your name. Your kingdom is come, and your will is done on earth and it is in heaven. You are given this day your daily bread, and you are forgiven your debts and your trespasses, exactly to the degree that you have forgiven those who trespass against you. Lead yourself not into temptation, but deliver yourself from the evils you have created. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen and amen. That was beautiful. Really beautiful. I have first read this in 1999, and it has transformed my life. I've been a breakthrough, but through the years I have been left confused and also astray because so many things happened then. Go now and change your world. Go now and be your highest self. You understand now all that you need to understand. You know now all that you need to know. You are now all that you need to be. You never were anything less. You simply did not know this. You did not remember it. Now you remember. Seek to carry this remembrance with you always. Seek to share it with all those whose lives you touch. For yours a destiny grander than you might ever have imagined. You have come to the room to heal the room. You have come to the space to heal the space. There is no other reason for you to be here. And know this, I love you. My love is always yours, both now and even forevermore. I am with you. I am with you always, always. Goodbye, God. Thank you for this dialogue. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you, my wonderful creation, thank you. For you have given God a voice again and a place in your heart. And that is all either of us have ever really wanted. We are together again, and it's very good. I don't see it, I'm so sorry. It's 2023 and still we are in the crossy road in the mud, and I don't know, it's so hard to walk in this earth as it is. And so many things have happened since this material came about. So many things. And yet it was not sufficient to change human mentality. And that's so sad, and this is a shame for all of us.